Today, we're going to be channeling our inner theater kid and traveling all the way to Napa Valley, California to celebrate the home release of Wicked, where I was lucky enough to tour one of California's finest wineries, eat amazing and colorful food and wine, and, oh yeah, fulfill my lifelong fantasy of flying high over the Bay Area in a hot air balloon. Which was... No, it was awesome. It was awesome. My journey started bright and early at 3 a.m. when I was magically whisked away from my home in Joe Blowsville to Napa, California, or as we all know it, wine country. Okay, pardon the crude camera angle here. I just got to my resort in Napa Valley. We're here to promote Wicked and its home release. We've got some treats. I think this is a piece of white chocolate, actually, with a painting on it. We've got some snickerdoodles. Now, I'm a fan of Wicked, and I enjoy the stage production, as I'm sure many of you do, and upon seeing the theatrical adaptation, I gotta say, I was impressed. Now, while I enjoyed the overall theater experience, it was amazing, I must also admit that I can sometimes be a sucker for watching movies in the comfort of my own home, especially the longer ones.
You can do anything. I know.
Now, if you're like me and you also enjoy watching your movies in the comfort of your own couch, you're in for some good news, but we're gonna get to that in just a bit. We're going to Mum's Winery in Napa Valley for the Wicked home release event. So I cannot wait. I'm excited. I'll see you guys there. My first night in town was pretty exciting. Everything was themed like Elphaba or Glinda, and you couldn't turn any corners without running into something themed as Wicked. I got to meet some other movie lovers and some die-hard Wicked fanatics, as well as sample some delicious food and glittery wine? Check this out. And as if I wasn't excited and anxious enough to be getting in a hot air balloon the very next day, Mum Winery also had a large Wicked-themed green balloon to excite me for the trip and also make me nervous for the fact that in a few short hours, I would be flying over California in what's essentially a big wicker basket. Which honestly did make me nervous to think about, but truthfully, how many people get to say that? So, I gotta admit, I was excited for the home release of Wicked as it is, but something about floating this high up and seeing the beauty of the West Coast from this giant rainbow balloon flashing with fire and roaring with wind, it makes me feel like I'm defying gravity.
The wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring me.
I think I was getting way too caught up in the fun. After my sunrise balloon excursion invigorating me at the start of the morning, I was exhausted somehow. I think being that high up just kind of makes you feel tired when you come back down. But I had no time to be tired. In just a few short minutes after eating my breakfast, I was set to be face to face with the man who made this all possible. The biggest Wicked fan in the business. I'm talking, of course, about John M. Chu. Or, as I come to know him, Mr. John M. Chu. Roll the footage. For me, this movie was so much fun in the theater. The participation from the crowd was incredible, as you would expect. But I have a feeling that the home release of this movie, for families to watch it in the comfort of their own home, is gonna come with a few surprises. So I was wondering, is there anything that you can tell us that we can look forward to on maybe the special features of the home release of Wicked?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of special features, especially now that we received this so much love. We know that they appreciate these extra things. We have loaded this thing with scenes that maybe you've heard about in interviews but have never gotten to see before. Cut scenes, stuff with Fierro or Bowen or whoever, and even stuff with the two ladies of scenes that I wish actually made it into the movie. But last second, you could just feel that the movie didn't quite need it yet. So yeah, I'm excited for everyone to experience it.
I can't wait. I for one, am definitely gonna be watching it with my entire family. We got a bunch of Wicked people in my family, as I'm sure most of the people you talk to these days.
Yes. And if you want more memes, you're gonna find it in these extra cut scenes.
So I was actually gonna ask you about that. That's another thing, is I think the pop culture impact of this film has been, I mean, there had to be things in making this movie that you knew going in would be iconic.
Well, almost all the things I thought were iconic did become iconic, but not the memes itself. The memes are things that I love dearly, that we, have fun with in the edit room, and we all laugh at, and it's all sort of our own thing, but never expect the public to actually right. The way she says that is so funny to us. Never thought the whole world would get that. Or the little girl, little Nessa, saying, "Yep." We always laughed at that. The fact that everyone else is getting that has been amazing. So
they bring giggles in the theater. These little moments. You hear people in the theater picking these things out.
It just feels like we're all in the same wavelength in some way. And so there's areas that I want to protect. Of course, even her flying with the big cape.
Yes.
Does that really make physical sense? No, but it's an expression of what she feels. And our editor Myron Kirsten would say, "We got to do that." And I thought that was, and that did become a thing for a moment.
Sure.
But it's all these little other things that become the memes, which is so fascinating.
Yeah, it really is, and it perpetuates the film to larger than life. It kinda, it solidifies it as something people are going to remember for multiple reasons down the road. Yeah. There's a lot of musical numbers in this film. And,
tell me about it. I'm tired just thinking about it. Yeah, everyone will be able to sing along to. You'll see it when we release it in the theater too, the sing-along version. That the lyrics are there, and also if you think you know the lyrics, it might clarify some things, because everybody gets some things wrong in those lyrics.
Sure.
And it's profound stuff. When I learned this when I first started working on this. I got to sit with Stephen Schwartz and Winnie through every line of every lyric, and reading it is a different experience.
I bet it is.
You see it in a different way, and so I'm excited for people to not just sing along, but when you see those words, I think there'll be discoveries for everybody.
Is there a specific musical number that was more apparent on? Was there a specific song that reading the lyrics really changed the way you thought of it?
Defying Gravity, for sure. Even Popular, which we think is just so fluffy and fun. Those words are profound. That's her magic. That's her influence, is a huge power that she has. And so when you read those words, ploys, not poise. The ploys, when she says that, it's oh, these words are so clever.
Yeah.
Those kind of details are great.
I'm so excited for the sing-along, specifically for something like that, too.
Yes.
With that being said, before we wrap,
yes.
This is a fun one also for me. Who out of your cast for part one was most likely to have stolen a prop from the set?
They weren't that secret about it, but Ari and Cynthia, from the very beginning, were you just hear I'll take that, I'll take that. They're not addressing anybody. I think that's their way of saying they told someone.
Yes.
But they'll just be walking away. Okay, thanks, John. I'll take that, and I'll take that, and I'll take this.
And
I'm taking this to the trailer, and blah, blah, blah. And we'll be like, what? Who's anybody? They look to me, I'm like, just let them have it. Do we have alternates of that? Do we have duplicates? Okay, so yes, they took a lot. I still don't know exactly everything they took.
It's time to relive the experience together.
Let's watch Wicked at home.
Join us for a magical night in.
Invite all your friends, because this one is going to be popular.
Sing your heart out in the comfort of your home. Think of what we could do together.
Rewatch your favorite scenes again and again.
Grab a blanket.
Turn the lights down low.
There is nowhere like home to watch Wicked.
Guys, Wicked will be available to purchase or rent on December 31st on digital. And if you're anything like me and you like to cozy up on the couch and dive deep into the movies you love, you are not going to want to miss this one. We're talking special features, sing-alongs, deleted scenes that even the director is excited to be showing you. So I can't wait. Watch Wicked at home this holiday season. Tell your friends. I can't believe that we are this close to 2025 already, but it does excite me for the sake of movies. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Friday Night Flicks. My name is Kier Gomes, and I'm going to be your host this evening, as well as every other evening. Hello. Hello out there in movie land, Joe Blowsville, as I call it. How is everybody doing? Get up in the comments. What's everybody up to now that the holiday season is over? We're done with the hustle and bustle for now. I want to know what you guys are up to. I also want to know what movies you're looking forward to in 2025 because it's almost here and I can't believe it. So go ahead and start some comments. I'm going to put on some nice music as per usual, set the mood, you know. Being that it was the Christmas week, I don't know, the big one, it has been a busy week for me. I'm telling you guys, if ever there was a flash between one Friday and the next, it was this one. It has been crazy. Hello, everyone. Darnell Leak is here. What's up, Darnell? Welcome back. Good to see you. We have Rosa and Juan. Hello. Hello. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you guys are doing especially well. We have, was that... Thirsty with a U. I like that, like Thurston, like the magician. I dig it. What's up, man? How's everybody doing? Thank you all for being here. Again, welcome to the show. We got a good show tonight. We're going to be kind of loose this evening, but I thought this week would be fun to talk about movies coming out in 2025 and kind of spotlight the ones we're excited about, or maybe kind of poke a little bit of light fun at the ones we're not maybe looking forward to. And then, as usual, you guys can expect some of my takes that are probably going to upset a few of you, and it's going to be a good time. Charles is here. Hello, Charles. Charles Becerra says, howdy. Well, howdy, partner. How you doing? Kickin' Wing for what a great name. Kickin' Wings 420. Rock on to you too, my brother. And Eddie Vigil says vigilant. Well, that's excellent to hear. Thank you for being here. Mark Davis, thank you for being here. Happy Friday to you as well. Everybody out there in TV land, I can't wait to talk to you guys about coming movies in 2025. However, you thought I was going to show the movie, like the whole movie? No, we're not doing that. Not tonight, Kickin' Wings. No way. Yeah, before we get into movies coming out in 2025, thought it'd be kind of fun to maybe talk about the pre-show video. For those of you that were here for the pre-show video roll, that was finally something I'm able to talk about. That was my experience week before last, I think, going out to Napa Valley, California to promote Wicked. And man, it was very fun. Kind of a crazy 36 hours, and there just wasn't a lot of time. Well, not a lot of almost no downtime, to be honest with you. But I did very much enjoy the trip. I tried to document all of the fun stuff. And the trip was so short that we were just kind of packed with events. So I filmed everything I could. Hopefully it'll suffice for you guys. Usick says, this is a funny one, the most anticipated movies of 2025, Snow White with Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. Boom! We're going to talk about that movie, perhaps. I don't think Cleopatra comes out this year. No, I think that's 2026, my man. All right, guys. Let's so the trip was excellent. If you guys want to see a documented kind of journey of my tour of Napa and the Wicked event. You can go check out the video if you didn't get a chance to see it before the show. There's also a really good interview in there that I did with John M. Chu, the director of the film. He's also the director of Crazy Rich Asians and Now You See Me Too, some other movies you might know of his. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. If you guys want to see that video, it's on our celebrity channel. So nice little subtle plug. And then other than that, I wanted to talk to you guys about a movie that I saw on Christmas, which I thought was really good. So we're going to talk about that. It was Nosferatu. Yeah, man, this movie was pretty good. It was, I mean, you know, I expected it to be good, to be honest with you. Here, let's do this. Maybe this will be. Yeah, here we go. I expected Nosferatu to be pretty good, to be honest. I kind of, it's not that I had like impossibly high expectations or anything like that. I just kind of assumed that Robert Eggers, you know, I just kind of assumed that he would knock this one out of the park, which I'm happy to report he certainly did, at least in terms of what you would expect from a remake like this. So if you guys saw Nosferatu, please holla at me and we will discuss further because I really enjoyed it. I don't want to spoil anything for those of you that are still planning on seeing it, so I won't get into too many spoilers, but if you wanted like a snap review from me, 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was very good. There was a few, maybe a few problems I had with it, but I want to watch it again before I properly criticize the movie. Yeah, and I hope that Captain America 4, I hope it does well too, because I actually think this one looks kind of good. We're gonna talk more about that, but to be honest with you, Usyk, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think even if the movie is good, the question is more, are people going to go see this one? And that I'm not so sure about. So I don't know. And yeah, Kickin' Wings 420 wants to make a request for our show, Gone But Not Forgotten. Let's hear it. Gone But Not Forgotten pitch episode. Go ahead. Sell me on something, Kickin' Wings. Having my delicious kombucha. Yeah, so let me know what movies you guys are excited for in 2025 in the comments. We'll kind of be going off of that. I'll be taking some of those into account. But as well, we are going to kind of move on with the show. So let's go to joeblow.com, my favorite website for movie news. All right, let's put me down here. There's also just some random movie stuff going on. I'm sure you guys by now have heard I'm going to call it sad news that the Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, has once again been delayed to now being 2027. I know we got to be patient. Good things take time. I know Matt Reeves has said repeatedly he's a slow writer. We shouldn't panic about this. But guys, I'm starting to wonder what the fuck is going on. Okay, I think we're far enough into the show I can say that. I'm starting to wonder what's going on here. Because here's why. The thing about the Batman is it was meant to be Batman in kind of year 2, but like starting year 2 of his career as a vigilante, which I was very on board for. Then the picture came out and I really loved it. I've seen that movie probably 6 times in the last few years. I love it. But the one thing is that it was meant to be a young Batman in his infancy. But by the time the Batman Part 2 comes out, Robert Pattinson will be the oldest Batman that we've ever had. So, you know, I mean, unless you count Michael Keaton reprising his role in The Flash, then I guess not. Or Kevin Conroy in live action, then I guess not. Kickin' Wings. So this is your pitch. Kickin' Wings 420 says he wants us to do a Gone But Not Forgotten, which for those of you that don't know, that's our WTF for television series. He wants to see one on the 90s Swamp Thing live action TV series. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. All right. Usyk wants to know, is the Batman part of James Gunn's DCU? Listen, there's speculation left and right. Pretty much either way, any direction you look, you'll see two two people of different camps. One camp is that the Batman is definitely in the MCU and it's a behind the scenes thing. So just to answer your question, officially, no. Officially, Matt Reeves' The Batman is supposedly separate from James Gunn's DCU, which is like the primary universe. However, with the movie being delayed as much as it has been, and with kind of the shoddy progress on Batman the Brave and the Bold, which is James Gunn's Batman and Damian Wayne movie, with all of the, you know, kind of development issues that movie's having, you can't help but wonder, are we merging two worlds? Even against Matt Reeves' very clear wishes not to do that, it kind of makes you wonder, is all of this Batman stuff getting delayed because they're trying to basically make the Batman the Batman, you know? If that's the case, how do I feel about it? It's fine. I like it. If that be I like Robert Pattinson as Batman so much that I believe him and David Cornsweet as Superman could have some chemistry. I think it could work. But at the same time, I'm not going to start speculating on that stuff until down the road because we have years before we even get another Batman movie. Unfortunately, that's where we're at. And actually, I mean, is it unfortunate or is that just what we need right now? Do we need a little breather from the Batmans? I don't know, maybe. Just maybe. I don't know. So yeah, the Batman got delayed again. Kind of not super surprised, but also, what the fuck, man? You know, I want to know what's going on, big time. Let's see what else is going on. There's a few. If you guys haven't seen Nosferatu yet, hey, look, there's me. I would recommend going to check out Nosferatu. If you like Robert Eggers, especially, you will like this movie. I think it's on par with some of his other ones. If I had to rank them, though, I'd probably go The Lighthouse is number 1, The Witch is number 2, then Nosferatu, then The Northman is probably last place, to be honest. I like it, but probably last place. Oh yeah, also to catch in on the Superman hype, if you guys haven't checked out our video on what the fuck happened to Superman Returns, I think you guys should not only go check out that video, but I also think you should check out that movie again and see what your opinion is on it all these years later, because I gotta tell you, I watched it again and I remember not loving it to now kind of thinking it's not terrible. It's kind of okay. I'm kind of not that mad at it. There's me again in front of the Wicked balloon. Oh, and don't worry, guys, for our best of and worst of lists, those are coming. We got everybody's favorite movie rant man, Jesse Shade. He's working hard on a video, top 10 worst of the year, and we'll also be doing a top 10 best of the year, of course. But be on the lookout for that. We might talk about some of that stuff somewhat on the live stream, too. So, but not tonight. Mark Davis, thank you for another comment, says, I saw some trailers for a couple movies I didn't even know were coming out last year that I'm excited for. Novocaine, Death of a Unicorn, and Sinners. I'm very excited for Novocaine. That one seems kind of like, when I heard the premise of it, I was like, that's cool. That sounds fun. Then I saw like the trailer in like small fragments, and I was like, it could be actually kind of lame. It could be like one of these Amazon Prime action movies, you know, with the exception of Roadhouse, which I thought was good. But it honestly, I saw the theatrical trailer, and I like it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks really cool. Darnell Leak says, I've always loved Superman Returns. Yeah, you know, I know a lot of people that really did defend it since the beginning. I think this is one of those movies that's kind of always been polarizing, because I remember when it came out, I think I saw it at the theater, and I remember some of my friends were like, this is the best Superman movie, and then some of my friends were like, nah, didn't really love it. But I also gotta say, Superman Returns is one of those movies that I think came out at kind of a bad time for superhero movies in general, you know? So I don't know, maybe revisiting it for you guys is the move. For me, it did take kind of some distance from me in the movie to come back and appreciate it all this time later. I think also now that like the Snyderverse is all done, going back and revisiting Superman Returns without having any of the heavy lore that came with like the Snyderverse, I think that's kind of nice as well. Oh, I'm glad you loved. Thank you, Brian Stevens, for enjoying WTF Superman Returns. We were really excited to put that video out. I'm also glad that it's doing pretty well. All right, guys. We're at that point in the show. Let's get into the main topics. Okay, let's start talking about some movies that are coming the frick out in 2025. All right, so I've rounded up. These aren't going to be all of the movies. These are going to be the ones that I thought were either kind of the most captivating for the general audience, or just ones that are important for movie fans and franchise cinema, which, let's be honest, is most of us these days. So that's what. Ooh, but before we get into it, actually, let me answer this question from Oink Master Supreme Forever. I feel like sometimes you could just isolate clips of these live streams of me pronouncing people's names, and that would be quite funny. If you could pick one animated feature to be translated to live action with CGI, what would it be? For me, no contest, The Last Unicorn. The movie's catching a lot of love right about now. So do you mean like the way that Lion King was like a live action, even though there is no live action, it was just CGI? Because if that's the case, I don't know. I think a lot of those Disney movies are fine the way they are, and they can remain kind of precious and untouched. But you know what? I would like to see maybe like a new version of James and the Giant Peach, which is a split between animation and live action, and I think would make for a wonderful remake because it has a fan base, like kids, or people that were kids, in the 90s, my age, and it's kind of a classic like Roald Dahl story, which I think could captivate new audiences. I think James and the Giant Peach is a movie you remake. That's what I think. All right, but without any further ado, my friends, I've kept you waiting for a whole 16 minutes. Let's start talking about movies coming out. We're going to start with kind of the big one, which is movie franchises. Okay, we're going to be talking about movie franchises that are coming out this year. Marvel and DC have their own category here tonight, so don't worry about that. But we've got kind of a lot of franchise movies coming out. We've got this one. This is Wake Up Dead Man. That's the new Knives Out film, third in the trilogy. We've got the new Karate Kid Legends, which if you guys haven't seen, there is a trailer for this movie, and it's pretty good. Okay, it's all right. We've got Freakier Friday. That's the new Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, the reason this is in the franchise section, this is important, okay? The reason why this is in the franchise section is because this movie's been remade like a dozen times. This is the first sequel to any adaptation of Freaky Friday that I'm aware of. So while it's not technically franchised, it's just a sequel, it counts, okay? And to be honest, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I am. There we go. We've also got the Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot vehicle, Snow White. This movie, I think it's going to be hard for it to avoid controversy, if I'm being honest. I really think that the thing is that Rachel Zegler is kind of known for like slamming movies that she's in. I think that's only happened a couple of times, but unfortunately, that comes with a rep. It comes with a reputation. And Gal Gadot kind of lately has been a meme. She's kind of, been in the meme space for the Kal-El no line read. So I don't know this movie, and then not to mention they have fucking CGI dwarfs when they could have just hired little people actors to be in the movie. That's pretty weird to me. That's also, I think if we're in an age where Disney's trying to appeal to a more sensitive audience, I think they fucked up big time by not casting little people actors in the roles of the dwarfs, which, to be honest, maybe that's a hot take, but the CGI dwarfs look like shit anyway. Like, I think the rest of the movie actually looks pretty cool. Like, the visuals, they don't look as lazy as maybe I would have expected. They look all right in the world, the atmosphere looks okay. Man, but those dwarves in that movie look weird. They kind of have the MODOK uncanny rubbery thing, and I don't know about that. Yeah, Kickin' Wings 420. Inspector Hercule Poirot is in Wake Up Dead Man coming out this year. Or no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Benoit Blanc. You're thinking of like Murder on the Orient Express Death on the Nile, Haunting in Venice. I don't know if there is a new one. I would love to see it, because here's another hot take. I loved Haunting in Venice, and I know that one got some hate, some shade, and I thought that one was like the best one. So, but in terms of franchises, what else we got? We got let's see. Yes, we got Wake Up Dead Man. It's been a while since Glass Onion came out, but I think that those movies, Knives Out and Glass Onion, are still so fucking good. I just rewatched Glass Onion recently, like maybe a month ago, and man, that movie, it's maybe a little bit stretched in terms of like suspending your disbelief. But in my opinion, I think Glass Onion is on the level of Knives Out. I think it's like as good, Here's one that I think is really worth talking about. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning is finally coming out. You guys, this has been a quarter century in the making in terms of cinema, okay? You had the first Mission Impossible, late 90s. It's been going strong for the last almost 30 years. More than a quarter of a century, these movies have been getting made, and we're finally here on the last one. Now, if you ask me, I don't give a shit if you think this is a hot take or not. This is just the truth of the matter. If you ask me, the Mission Impossible franchise as a whole has no bad movies. I know that there's a lot of people that hate the John Woo Mission Impossible 2 film. Personally, I know it's cheesy. I do think it's the worst one, but I still don't even think it's that bad. I still think it's okay. The soundtrack has Limp Bizkit doing a custom song out of the score theme for the movie. Come on. That stuff was, that soundtrack was straight up crack for kids in those days. 2001, 2002. Oh my God. Y'all got no idea. Y'all got no idea. Ooh, Powder Keg has an interesting take here. He likes Rian Johnson, but the Knives Out stuff ain't for him, for Powder Keg. I love Knives Out. Well, here's the thing. I love whodunits. I have a poster here. You can't really see it, but this poster back there, that's a Clue poster. Clue is probably in like my top 20 films ever made. I love the whodunits. I love the mysteries. I love a red herring. I love, in a whodunit movie, that moment towards the end where they explain how they tricked everybody and you see all these pieces that you could have been picking up on. It's just fun. It's good old-fashioned fun in a movie. I understand that it's not for everybody. Some people find them to be too on the nose. Some people find them to be like almost too much of a parody. Some people find them pretentious, but I like the movies. In fact, I love them. Yeah, Brian De Palma, first Mission Impossible movie. Still one of the best spy thrillers ever made. Ever made. I cannot wait for this new one. For any Mission Impossible fans out there, let me know what your guys' favorite Mission Impossible movie is, because I'm going to tell you right now, my personal favorite of the entire series, Mission Impossible 3. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's a film directed by J.J. Abrams. And it's probably, in my opinion, the best Mission Impossible. It has the best villain, Philip Seymour Hoffman as Devlin. Definitely the best villain in Mission Impossible. Maybe with, I would say there's competition for Doug Ray Scott, and even though Mission Impossible 2 was no good for some of you. And, of course, John Voight, who's an actual fucking villain in real life. Usyk says Jamie Lee Curtis doing her own stunts in True Lies is better than any Tom Cruise stunts. Yeah, dude, they actually pulled her out of the car up to that helicopter in real fucking life. Can you guys believe that? Think about, no wonder, because here's the thing with Jamie Lee Curtis. Love her. Big fan of Jamie Lee. Always will be. She's cocky. She loves herself. And I think if I was Jamie Lee Curtis, I would also love myself, because I'd be an acclaimed actor. Now an Academy Award-winning actor for her role in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Don't forget, she won the Academy Award for that. But yeah, man, she has the right to be cocky, being that in True Lies, she held her arm out and got pulled from the sky roof, or the, what's it called? The sunroof of a car, out of the car, up to a helicopter where she was then dangled out of the helicopter while it was in mid-flight. That is pretty, I gotta admit, you got the right to be cocky. Okay. Ghost Protocol is Brian Stevens' favorite Mission Impossible movie. Great movie. They're all good. Here's the thing with the Mission Impossible movies. I think they're all good. So, like, no matter which one you say is your favorite, I'm gonna be like, I get that. You know? I thought Rogue Nation was really fucking cool. And that was kind of the one where at that point when the movie came out, that's where I was worried. Maybe Mission Impossible's, maybe it's cooked. It's not cooked. In fact, I think that even though they're ending with this final movie, I think they could probably keep it going and people would still go see those movies. I think. Let's see what other franchise films we got coming out. My dudes, my guys. Oh yeah. Ballerina, of course, John Wick spin-off. Now, again, technically not a sequel, but this one is franchised. You know, it's a spin-off of John Wick, which has 4 films. It's a bona fide franchise. I'm excited. I'm excited. I know Ana de Armas has kind of been in the hot seat lately. Ooh. And we're not supposed to like people when they're in the hot seat, so I won't say anything about that other than I'm looking forward to Ballerina. I think that, like, of the John Wick, kind of side characters, sure, whatever works for me. My thing is this. John Wick has gone out of its way to establish John Wick as kind of the main draw. Then they tried the Continental with that, I think it was a Paramount Plus TV show. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was okay. I heard it was all right. I think kind of the main draw of John Wick is still John Wick. So I'm curious. I'm going to give Ballerina a chance either way because, with the creative team involved, I have reason to believe it is going to be very good. But I just wonder, was this the move? I don't know. And I'll tell you, Brian Stevens, I think Dead Reckoning underperformed just due to the time that it came out. It was still a time when people weren't sure about going back to the movies. I think people kind of see like Top Gun Maverick as like the tent pole of like when that came out, movies were back. But it still took a while, for people to come out and go out to the movies. And I think that the marketing for the movie was kind of, even though there was a lot of marketing and promotion, I think that it was all centered around the one stunt, which is also showed in the trailer, which kind of made people think, is this movie just all kind of leading up to this one epic moment that we've already seen? I liked Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I like the idea of AI being a factor. I like the idea of the franchise maturing, not maturing, but like, modernizing with the times. I think it's cool. I like it. Okay. And then as far as other, franchise movies, guys, it's your standard. There's the new Jurassic Park with Scarlett Johansson called Jurassic World Rebirth. Kind of hoping they decide to change the name because I'll be honest, the name doesn't sell me one bit. And then you also have in the animated world Bad Guys 2, which I think Bad Guys was kind of a totally underrated heist movie with Sam Rockwell in the lead. So, if you've seen Sam Rockwell in things like Matchstick Men by Ridley Scott, that guy is perfect for a heist movie. He's perfect. He's charismatic. He's cool. He's funny. But you also buy him as kind of a sleazy criminal. Okay? Sam Rockwell forever. That was sick, dude. That little Sam Rockwell tangent I just went on was pretty fucking sick. Okay? Yeah, I didn't watch Y2K either yet. Kicking Wings 420. I was really excited for it. I love Kyle Mooney. Obviously not as a filmmaker. This is his first movie, but I love him as an actor. The only thing is that I heard that it wasn't great. So I'm gonna wait until it's streaming and then I'll check it out when it's on digital. I'll still support the movie. I still want to watch it, but I did lose a little bit of hype kind of hearing that the movie was a little bit someone's first film, and just kind of wore its homages on its sleeve, that sort of thing. So I don't know. And Brian, dude, Brian, lock in with me right now, pal. I agree with this so much. I'm done with, you know what it is? I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this. Here's what it is. Jurassic Park is the only solid dinosaur content that we have in the movie sphere. There's no franchise that will go there besides Jurassic Park. And it fucks me up because I want more dinosaur stuff, but I don't want more Jurassic Park stuff. You know, I heard 65 was terrible. My wife watched half of it. She said it sucks. She loves Adam Driver and she couldn't handle that movie. So I took that as a sign to not waste my time, you know? So I just want more dinosaur shit, but it doesn't have to be Jurassic fucking Park, you know? Not every time anyway. So give us a beat, you know? You just ruined it with the locusts in the last one, man. You know, let us get that shit taste out of our mouth first before you cram another hot celebrity into another big movie that's going to be super expensive, only to get diminishing returns on a franchise that likely should have been dead already. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. All right, what else is coming out this year, guys? That's not all. We have, let's see, in the superhero world, we have obviously the big one, James Gunn's Superman. Now, if you guys are into Superman, which looks like many of you in the comments are, we are going to talk all about that on next week's stream with a special guest. So make sure you tune in. But I'll tell you guys, I was excited for Superman. And then I admit, while I know it's a hot take now, I admit that the teaser trailer for the movie did not exactly make me fall in love with the franchise, the potential, I guess, of this franchise. Okay. Now, I've seen the love online. I'm a YouTuber. I'm online all day. I've seen the love that this trailer is getting. So I'm aware that I'm in the minority when I say I think it could have been better. I think that there's a feeling associated with Superman that people want. And at least for me, this trailer didn't give me exactly that feeling. Am I still going to see the movie? Yes. Opening day? Yes. I'm going to go. And I do think the movie's going to be good. I can't stress that enough. The Guardians trilogy, that's the best shit in the MCU. And I think that this movie is going to be good. I just didn't feel the big, refreshing breath of air that I wanted to feel when I finally saw Superman again. You know, to be honest, I think this is probably one of my favorite, as far as most anticipated, this is probably one of the most anticipated. But I think a big part of it too is it's anticipated because of the character and because of the director, but not because the trailer was so good. That's what I am making clear. I'm still very excited for this movie. 10 out of 10 excitement, but the trailer didn't do anything to add to that. It made me no more excited than I already was, you know? Oh, you said, come on, brother. Guardians 1 was the only good one and the rest was meh? Untrue, my friend. Come on, buddy. Dude, you mean to tell me Guardians 2 isn't the best one? Because to me it is. Guardians 2, the best one. I love it. I love it. I love Kurt Russell. I love it. Now, from Marvel this year, we've also got Thunderbolts. And actually, Marvel's got kind of a big slate this year. Yeah, I agree totally with this comment here. Obviously, Donner's Superman is goated. Christopher Reeve as Superman, I think also goated. I'm not precious about a lot of these things. Like, I'm one of those people that's pro remake, I'm pro recast, I'm pro shake it up. Because whatever, we'll always have the stuff we like. So try a bunch of new shit. And if we don't like it, we can ignore it. We can choose to just pretend it doesn't exist. That's what I do. But for me, Superman 1978, as well as Christopher Reeve as Superman, that to me is kind of one of those precious things where I don't know if it gets better than that. It is goated to me as the movie that brought superheroes to the big screen, to the silver screen. Even if there was stuff before that with the Green Hornet on TV, you know, or whatever, that the Superman 1978 was the one for me, that for sure. Yes, of course, my special guest will be Henry Cavill next week, guys. We're going to have Henry Cavill on the show to talk about the new Superman movie that he's not in, but his lookalike is in. That's what we're going to do. That would be funny, but no. Superman 2025, this is interesting. Superman 2025 feels like Batman Begins. It may not be the biggest hit. It just has to be a great movie. Yeah, you know, here that's the thing. One, it doesn't need to be the biggest hit. It needs to make money though. You know, James Gunn's not gonna keep making DCU films if nobody wants them. But I think the movie will be good because James Gunn has been pretty adamant about not making a movie that isn't good in this new universe. And I think that's important. Now, on the topic, moving away from Superman, I want to save some steam for next week when we have our special guest. The Marvel stuff, we have Captain America Brave New World with Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford. To be honest, I didn't give a shit about that movie, but I thought the trailer looked pretty good. So now I do give a shit about it. But the thing that I probably should make pretty clear for those of you that are, you know, big superhero fans here, as much as I'm a comic book reader, but I'm not an MCU film buff. And what I mean by that is I've seen, I think, all of them by now, but I'm not a fan of a lot of them. And by that, I mean, like, maybe most of them don't do anything for me. Some of them are great. Some of them are okay, fun times, like the Spider-Man movies. And some of them I just don't like, you know, like Eternals. I thought it was kind of shit, you know. Cartoon Man says, sorry, I'm late. Cartoon Man, look at me, buddy. Don't ever apologize to me, ever. But also don't ever be late. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Samuel Parker says, what will happen if Superman underperforms? I don't know, you know, but my guess would be that if Superman, let's say it bombs, which I don't think it will, but let's say it bombs in the box office and it doesn't make any money. We better hope that that critical reception is very good. Because if the critical reception is good, there's a chance that more movies will get made. If it bombs and gets review bombed by, you know, people that take this shit too seriously, which could happen, I don't know. I think maybe what happens then is James Gunn kind of cancels what's on the slate and just goes back to making other movies. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Darnell. Cap 4 does look pretty good. Here's the thing. I like Anthony Mackie so much that I'm okay with, you know, look, everybody was so surprised. Everybody was so surprised when Captain America and Winter Soldier or whatever came out. Was it Mackie, IE? And everybody was so, whoa, they went woke. What do you mean that Sam Wilson is Captain America? Dude, they told us that was going to happen at the end of Endgame when Chris Evans gives his fucking shield to Anthony Mackie. So we knew that was going to happen. So first of all, it wasn't a surprise when it happened. Okay. It was not a surprise. But the other thing is, I'll pull up some images here just to give you guys some visuals. The other thing is that Anthony Mackie is an awesome actor. He's great. And he can do, you know, the Falcon thing that he's established over all these movies works for Captain America. And would we still want Captain America to be Steve Rogers when he's now in universe like 90 years old? No, get the fuck out of here. So it makes sense to me. I have no problem with getting a new Captain America. You know, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine with me. My thing is, I didn't think that there needed to be another Captain America movie, because make a Falcon movie, you know, or don't, and just don't tell it. But then I saw the trailer. It looks like kind of a thriller, kind of a protect the president, Olympus has fallen kind of thing. I'm there for it. And then, of course, for me, the big one this year is going to be, from Marvel anyway, Fantastic Four: First Steps, with Vanessa Kirby, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, and Ibn Mas Baccarat. And that one better be good, because look, let me tell you guys, okay? Again, I'm not usually precious about this shit, but I have never gotten a Fantastic Four movie that I truly loved. I thought the 2005 one was, I thought it was okay. It was stupid and campy, and I liked that. The sequel to that one, again, it was okay. The Rise of Silver Surfer was whatever. I actually didn't like that movie, to be honest with you. I say it's whatever because I don't want to be rude. As much as I liked Tim's story, that movie sucked. And then there was the Josh Trank Fan Four Stick, right? That came out, that everybody knows. And I hate that fucking movie, man. That movie was such a letdown, because I thought Fox is making it, you know, so it's going to be a big budget movie at least. And maybe they've learned something from, you know, kind of the hype of the X-Men movies and the way that they went about doing a proper X-Men movie with First Class. And then by the time the Fan 4 stick came out, man, it sucked. And I hated it. I was so let down, so bummed out. Yeah. Ooh. A random YouTuber with Kiki as his profile picture. What's up? Welcome back. Freaks and Geeks, gone but not forgotten. Yeah, we if we haven't done that, maybe before my time we did that. But Freaks and Geeks is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's one season, but it is one perfect season. That show was created, of course, by Judd Apatow and Paul Feig, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So don't worry, a random YouTuber with Kiki as the profile picture. We'll maybe make that happen one of these days. Let's talk about some original movies that are coming out this year. Now, by original, I don't mean that these are original screenplays or something like that. I just mean that some of these I think are based on books, but they're original to cinema, which means as far as I know, there is not any previous cinematic outings of these films. There's some interesting ones coming out. I think Mickey 17 is one of those ones where it's been hyped up and delayed so many times that people have lost any excitement they had. But let's not forget, you guys, this is a fucking Bong Joon-ho production, okay? Bong Joon-ho is making this movie, so it's probably going to be good. You know? Did you like Parasite? Did you? Okay. So I think I'm excited. I liked the trailer for Mickey 17. I liked Robert Pattinson's weird little voice, his freak voice that he does. He kind of talks like this. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool as shit. But it's a clone movie. You know, he's a desperate guy who signs up to be kind of an expendable guy who they clone him, kill him, and reuse him for a space mission. Then I saw this trailer for The Gorge. Y'all, did you guys see the trailer for The Gorge? Let me see if I'll pull up. I'm not gonna pull up any trailers because I keep getting hit with copyright, which, you know, I guess is to be expected, but it's like no matter what I fucking do, you know, I cannot catch a break. Here we go. Let me pull up The Gorge. Now this is a Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy joint. You know what I'm saying? And there we go. Replace. Yeah, here, give me 1 second. The Gorge. Yeah, so this movie's interesting to me, man. It's kind of maybe a monster movie. I think that the poster kind of makes you think it is. The trailer kind of hints at that. But essentially, you have these two people that are, you know, working for this big company. It's in kind of a futuristic world, maybe in space. And they're on two sides of this giant gorge, just this giant, you know, empty space between. It's very high up. And you have Anya Taylor-Joy on one side, you have Miles Teller on the other side. They're there to do some kind of job, some kind of observe and report type thing. The only thing is they're not allowed to communicate with each other. And that's key. That's kind of like the one rule, right, of the movie. Well, as you can imagine, being cooped up by yourself, staring at, you know, the hot person across from you, eventually you're going to write some notes, you're going to communicate. And this movie is kind of what happens when you do that. And the trailer looks fun. I'm not the biggest fan of Miles Teller. For some reason, he maybe because I hated the Fantastic Four movie so much with him in it. But I don't know. I think other than Top Gun Maverick, I've just never really loved him in a movie. But this movie looks good. I think this one looks good. I think Anya Taylor-Joy is, you know, a brilliant actor. So I have no doubt that the performances will be good. Regardless of how I feel about Miles Teller, I do think he's an okay actor. You know, I don't think he's the best. I definitely do think he's talented, though. So yeah, I'm interested. The Gorge. What do you guys think about that coming out? Yeah, it's Rooster. Yeah, Rooster and Furiosa versus monsters. Basically, yeah. Only in this one, I think she talks, and that's what gets her in trouble. Oh, this is a good question. Is Anya Taylor-Joy just unlucky at the box office and critical acclaim in her theater movies? You know, I don't know. I think that what I think it is with Anya Taylor-Joy is I just think that she got put in so many movies, and a lot of them during COVID, so a lot of them got delayed, re-edited, moved, reshoots, blah, blah, blah. So I think that maybe she just was very busy, and unfortunately had her peak during a time when movies were a little bit harder to make. And then the strike came. She was a part of a lot of those movies. So I think that's a big thing. Bootzilla, cool name, Bootzilla. Thank you for being here. Yes, I do like the trailer for Novocaine. I like the concept of the movie, and I think the trailer sold me on it for sure. At first, I thought maybe it'll be cheesy, but I think that might end up being kind of what I like about it. You know, is that it's kind of goofy and kind of big, which it should be. With a concept like this of a guy who can't feel any sensation going on kind of a John Wick style mission, I hope that they go big with that idea of how far can we push this guy without killing him since he can't feel any pain? What can we make him do? I like that. Samuel Parker says, this is funny. It says, is the company in the Gorge movie Wayland Yutani or Skynet? It could be, I don't know. Maybe it's the company, you know? Maybe. But as far as original movies, we've also got, there's a few I wanted to kind of touch on before I let you guys go and get on with your weekend and your bad selves. Yeah, Novocaine, I'm really looking forward to that movie. I've been won over on Jack Quaid at this point. I like him. I trust him in terms of performance. I think if I see him in a movie, I can at least trust that I will like him in the movie. Really excited for Love Hurts, which is a new film starring Ki Ho Kwan from the producers of Nobody and Violent Night. It's like an action Valentine's Day movie, and I think it looks fun. And then there's a kind of dark play on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I believe this is based on a book, but there's a movie coming out with Michael Fassbender called The Black Bag, or just Black Bag, and it's kind of a spy versus spy, but they're husband and wife, you know, kind of Mr. and Mrs. Smith deal, but it looks a lot more serious than that, and it looks very good. Looks very good, you know. And then as far as horror movies that we're looking forward to in 2025, there's a few. Some of them are franchised, some of them are OG. So speaking of Jack Quaid, he's got a big year next year coming up. He's going to be in a movie called Companion from the creators of Barbarian, which, if you remember, the director of Barbarian, what's his name? Zach Krieger, I think is his name. He's from The Whitest Kids You Know, which is so funny to me. I mean, like, you see all the time these people from sketch comedy translate what they know of being funny into being scary in feature film, like Jordan Peele kind of type stuff. I think Companion could be cool. The trailer for this really stuck with me, and I think it looks awesome. It is written KJV 611 says, is the Batman 2 coming out in 20? No, my friend. The Batman 2 is actually coming out in 2027 as of breaking news today. 2027 is when we're going to see that next movie. Yeah. Yeah, I should have done some stuff for Death of a Unicorn. It seems like a lot of you guys are excited for that. I didn't include it because I just wasn't sure, like, if there was anything to say, but it seems like a lot of you guys are excited for it. Yeah, Brian, I agree. The 28 Years Later trailer looks fucking great, man. It made me so excited for that movie. Aaron Taylor Johnson has had a big fucking, year, or I guess now couple of years, but man, he's been in so many things the last few years. It's nuts. But we've also got Lee Wanell doing Wolf Man, and oh my gosh. When I tell you guys that the Invisible Man remake from Blumhouse, directed by Lee Wanell, when I tell you that movie was one of my favorite movies that year, I really mean it. I loved that movie. And I think that The Wolfman is going to be on par. I think Lee Wanell chooses his projects carefully, and I think he wants to protect his resume, so to speak. And I think he wouldn't risk doing this movie with one, it being a Universal property, a beloved classic character, a follow-up to a movie that he did that was also in those two leagues that was well received. I think he took the time, and I think Wolfman is going to be very, very good. Yep, Darnell agrees. What's up? Yeah, I heard that they shot 28 years later on an iPhone. Here's the thing. I think that's fun. I think that's cool. And I did see some set photos where they just were using an iPhone with like a rig on it to make it work. I think that's all cool, but are we that impressed when Steven Soderbergh has been doing that for years? You know? Like Unsane, that was an iPhone movie on like an iPhone 4, so it looked like shit, but with purpose, and it was good. It was good. Oh, hell yeah, I agree with this comment here. A Spy vs. Spy animated movie would be tight. Yeah, dude. Spy vs. Spy, if you guys don't remember those little comic strips, let me pull one up for you. Spy vs. Spy is iconic stuff. When I was a kid, I used to see these in the back of like Mad Magazine and like in the funnies and stuff. And truthfully, this was kind of like one of my early introductions into comics. So very cool that you mentioned that as well. Let me pull up. I'm gonna show you guys, if you don't know what Spy vs. Spy is. It's this here. So it's like the same illustration, but one of them's white, the other one's like a white suit, the other one's in a black suit, and it's just these two spies constantly after each other, literally just chasing each other the whole time. That would be a great animated movie. You know what they would probably do is they would probably do Spy vs. Spy in the same style as like the Captain Underpants movie, almost like that Illumination style animation, which maybe wouldn't work for everybody, but for me, I actually think that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty cool. All right, guys. So listen, a lot of movies coming out in 2025. I didn't have a lot to say about all of them. Like, for example, Megan 2.0 is coming out. I actually kind of enjoyed Megan. I thought it was fun enough to be a good time. It was a little dumb, and maybe partially that was part of the charm. Snow White, it's just silly. It's so unfortunate what they did with those dwarfs, man. I really wish they would have just cast some fucking human people, but God forbid they upset anyone. So by trying to please everyone, they ended up pleasing nobody. Nice. But let's do a giveaway. Let's do a nice little giveaway. I got a little something for you guys. This one's a treat since we've been talking Superman so much, and to kind of allude to what we'll be covering in our next Friday Night Flicks, we're gonna be doing a Superman giveaway. Here we go. If you guys want to win this is a metal Superman poster. It's kind of one of those like pin style posters that you put on your wall. All you have to do if you want to win that is be the first one to answer this question. Superman 1978 was the second highest grossing film of that year. What movie was the first? What was the highest grossing movie of 1978? Now keep in mind, guys, the comments they come in for me a little bit delayed, so I'm gonna go, the winner will be the first one that I see answer it on my side, okay? And I'll pin that comment. But the question is, what was the highest grossing movie of 1978 if it wasn't Superman? Superman was second. Made a boatload of fucking money, okay? Made big time bucks. They could have got Steven Spielberg for the next one, Okay, I love it. I love that kind of calmness in the... Oh, there we go. Bootzilla was the first... Oh, man, I'm so sorry, 13th Hour and Darnell and Brian, but Bootzilla was the first one to Google it correctly, because I'm assuming that's what happened here. Honorable mention to 13th Hour, Darnell Leak, Brian Stevens, Mr. Bucketman, and Mario Shunik. However, Bootzilla, you were the first one to get it correct on my end in the comments. So congratulations. You sick. I'm going to get to that comment in a little bit. But for now, Bootzilla, the answer, of course, is Grease. Grease was the #1 highest grossing movie of 1978. And you know what? I like Grease. I like it as much as I like Superman 1978. There, I said it. Do I feel bad about saying it? Not really. So, Bootzilla, again, very cool name. All you have to do if you want to claim your prize, my friend, is email our producer, arrow@joeblow.com. Go ahead and send an email with your shipping information. You can put whatever P.O. box or shipping address you want to put. Make sure you include your real name, and your address, and we will ship your poster, your wall art out to you ASAP. Make sure you get the spelling correct, arrow@joeblow.com. And thank you, Bootzilla, for participating in the giveaway. And thank you, 13th Hour, for being a good sport and praising the homies. Thank you. Oh, I love seeing that. I love seeing people be not poor sports, you know. Now, I did want to come back to this comment because I thought it was funny from Usyk. Usyk says Dean Cain Superman was woke, which I just think is so funny. Dean Cain played Superman on a show called Lois and Clark in like '96 or something. So just hearing it called woke is very funny to me, and I think that's fun. That's fun. John Travolta has lost everyone to cancer. Oh. Joe blows for super bland. I don't know what that means, but all right, then yeah, go ahead and do it right now, Boots. If you need it, let me know. I can put the thing back on the screen, the email address. And thank you, Darnell, for being a good sport as well. And guys, you know, we do a giveaway all the time here. We do them like on average, we do one like every other week. So keep tuning into the shows and you will win one of these days. It's not like it's the biggest pool of people. So if you want to win some free stuff, definitely do it. Yeah, The Bride, the Maggie Gyllenhaal film with Christian Bale. I actually think that could be cool for sure. All right, guys, make sure you grab your Joe Blow merch while we're on the topic. We're gonna be ending the show soon, but you know I love to get my merch plugs in there. Go to our store. It's in the description of all of our videos. Go pick up a t-shirt, guys. If you like movie quotes, if you like kind of, you know, subtle movie quotes, these are the designs for you. I love that Poltergeist one. Our Point Break t-shirt is on Point Break. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Stephen O'Donnell, my brother, you're late again, man. The show is almost over, my good friend. But thank you for being here anyway. Thank you so much. Mario says Lois and Clark from the 90s was good cheese. Yeah, it was all right, you know. It was kind of one of those ones where, like, it wasn't good cheese at the time. At the time, I think it was just cheese, you know? I think it's one we can look back on now and kind of appreciate. Hip Hop Legend says, I'm intrigued by The Bride. Yeah, so am I. We're getting some good Frankenstein content. You guys know I'm a big fan of Frankenstein over on this channel. This is him. Subscribe to Joe Blow. Subscribe to Joe Blow. You know, I love me some Frankenstein. But we've got Guillermo del Toro. He's got a Frankenstein movie coming out, which is great, an adaptation of the original books. And then we've got Maggie Gyllenhaal coming out with The Bride. So I think that's pretty sick. And I'm excited for some new Frankenstein fare because it has been a while. I even have, you can't see it now, but this poster right next to so you have the Halloween one right there. Right here is the original Boris Karloff, The Bride of Frankenstein poster. Because, you know, Boris Karloff is the king when it comes to Frankenstein. So, oh yeah, Tron Ares is also coming out this year. Darnell, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I forgot that movie was even coming out. I forgot. I hope it's good. I actually like both Tron movies. I like the 80s one and I like the Tron Legacy movie. I think Garrett Hedlund is cool in that movie. I think that movie is cool. I have no beef with it. So yeah, Monster Squad is one of the best Halloween family films of all time. Wolfman's got nards. Yeah, no. And that was generic Universal. They didn't have the rights to use the actual Universal movie monsters in Monster Squad, so they just used the silhouettes of all those characters and made them new. Ed Snark says, am I excited for Ballerina? Yes and no. I would be more excited for like an original, you know, John Wick style movie with maybe like a new thing, but a John Wick spinoff, if it's even partially as good as John Wick, yeah, that's good enough for me to get excited about. Yeah, Tim Noonan did do Frankenstein proud. Yes. Thank you, Darnell. I agree. You're maybe the only other person that thinks that Tron Legacy is underrated. I like it. Yeah, Garrett Hedlund is cool. Oh, sick. Bootzilla agrees. Yeah, all right. I found my people. I have found my people. Bootzilla and Darnell, please come back next week. I need people who agree with my shitty takes or my silly takes, you know? Please come back. Same thing, Bootzilla, Mario, all Darnell, everybody, come back next week and we're gonna, maybe you guys can help me in our endeavor to recover or to cover every Superman movie ever made, because we're doing that next week. And Brian Stevens, yes. As a matter of fact, they already announced that they are going to be remaking The Mummy again. My thoughts? I'm excited. I love the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies are great. I hated the Tom Cruise one, but I don't think that counts. So maybe they'll cast somebody like, you know, like a Glenn Powell or something and get a new Mummy movie going that's in the same kind of stylistic field as the original ones. You know, I would like that very much, like a friendly adventure movie that's just easy to just get into and enjoy. That's what I would love, with maybe somebody charming like Glenn Powell, or like, you know, I don't know who, like maybe somebody younger than like Idris Elba but has that same kind of like snarky British charm. I think that could do well. So yeah. All right, guys. That's it. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm gonna let you guys get off to the races. I know it's Friday, which means many of us are going to the movies tonight. I have yet to see A Complete Unknown. I want to see Nosferatu one more time. I want to see A Complete Unknown, and I want to watch Wicked again. So that's gonna be probably my weekend. But let me know what movies you guys plan on watching this weekend. I love you all. Thank you so much for another wonderful week, and no technical issues this week, so we're happy about that. All right, guys. Thank you again so much for joining, and we will see you on the next Friday Night Flicks. I'm going to turn off the music, and I'm going to outro us out, my friends. Good night.